Okay, in answer to this question, if delta x of d doubles, what happens to slope 1 and slope 2? Well, if delta xd doubles, our student indicated that slope 1 and slope 2 decrease by a factor of 2. Okay, they change by a factor of 1/2, and that's the same as decreasing by a factor of 2. So that's a perfectly good answer, and it turns out that that's true. That isn't quite proven by what was written here, but there's a very good indication that if the delta xd is 2, the slopes are 1/4 and 1/2, and we use that up here. Everybody pretty well found that correctly. And then that if delta x of d equals 1, the slope is 1/2. Slope 1 is 1/2 and slope 2 is 1. And we see that if the slope doubles, like from 1 to 2, then slope 1 goes from 1/2 to 1/4, which means it's cut in half, decreases by a factor of 2, changes by a factor of 1/2. Slope 2 goes from 1 to 1/2, again becoming 1/2 is great. It doesn't prove that that's going to be true for any pair of doubling displacements, one being twice the other, but it makes it certainly very plausible. And then we're going to continue on in a subsequent video and actually prove that it's so, prove that it's true no matter what. So in preparation for doing that, we're going to ask, in terms of the symbol delta x sub d, what are slope 1 and slope 2? Now, you can go with the suggestion or without it. You can skip the suggestion and come back to it, so you don't have it influencing what you might do that might be even better. But let's go back to what we did with the delta x sub d when delta x sub d was 2. If delta x sub d is 2, what are the coordinates of point 1 and point 2? Okay, and of course this is how we got the 1/4 and the 1/2. But what are the coordinates? Well, if delta x sub d is 2, then this point is -2. The x coordinate here is -2. And what's the y coordinate of this point? Well, this is a doubling displacement here. The y coordinate here is 1, so the y coordinate here has to be half of the y coordinate here. Okay, half is great. So this point is -2, 1/2. If delta xd equals 2. And this point is 2, 2. Again, if delta xd equals 2. So now all we have to do is find the rise and the run from this point to this point. And clearly the rise is from 1/2 to 1, which is 1/2. The run is from -2 to 0, which is a run of 2. And a rise of 1/2 divided by a run of 2 gives us our 1/4. Similarly, the coordinates of this point and this point will show that the slope of chord 2 for this particular delta x sub d is 1/2, verifying what we've got here. Now, in terms of symbol delta xd, what are these two slopes? Well, we should follow the same procedure. If this is negative delta x sub d, what are the coordinates of this point? If this is x sub d, what are the coordinates of this point? So then, what's the rise and the run between these points? What's the rise and the run between these points? So I would suggest proceeding along those lines.